Alright. Figures the minute I go live, my cat starts screaming. Okay. Let's get this all set up. Hopefully you guys can all see. Yep, there we go. And let me pop out the Twitch feed. There we go. And we'll get this. Awesome. Whoa is right, Darko. We're here. And we're getting ready to go. Alright. Not as early as I wanted to be up to do this, but still earlier than usual. So, how's it going, Internet? We're here. We out here. Full disclosure, I haven't had caffeine in a couple days. I'm a little tired, but we're gonna try and do this. Oh, sorry I woke you up. I didn't mean to. That actually reminds me, I gotta ping the Discord. If Discord was even open. But let's get this going. Let's see here. I definitely know how Discord works. There we go. How many people are online? We got 7 people online, so it's actually not bad. I've noticed as the Discord's been growing, that more and more people are online anytime I look at the Discord, so that's cool. Hey, Freaky Frog. The myth, the legend. So, full disclosure, I don't really have a plan for today's stream. I'm exhausted. I had a pretty long weekend. Just doing a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot we got dogs. So, I don't have a specific plan for today. But I'm definitely open to suggestions. I do have a plan for these, though. If we can get down a little further without taking a bunch of fall damage. In here I wanted to put it. But hopefully you guys had a good weekend. We did our Halloween potluck. And we ended up watching Casper the Friendly Ghost as our movie that we were going to watch. So, not really Halloween, but, well, I guess it's a Halloween movie. Halloween adjacent at the very least. But I would consider it a Halloween movie because, like, it literally takes place, like, the whole plot is, like, they're at a Halloween dance. So, I mean, I feel like that counts, right? I actually haven't seen that movie in years, and it was really cool to see because there's a lot of actors and actresses in that movie that I like as a kid, because you know you don't pay attention to actresses and stuff like that, actors and actresses as a kid, right? Like you don't really care. But as an adult, you're like, oh, that person was in this movie, and that person was in this movie, and it was kind of neat to see who was in that movie. Like, for example, Christina Ricci, who plays Wednesday Addams, like the original one, not the more recent one. She plays the little girl in that movie, which I had no idea. It seems like she just is into the scary movie scene. I guess that's where she, you know, became famous and stuff, so makes sense. I'm actually going to take all this coal out because I feel like I'll get more use out of it if I put it in here. And then I can not grab any more snow because there isn't any. So I can put flint in here. Oh, there's a cat sitting on it. I can't get in the chest. It's funny. And I need to go throw the map back down there too. I also can't believe we're already on like day 40 of this file. It really doesn't feel like it. Like I haven't even really been pushing for it either. It just kind of happened. Like this is stream 4. I guess like usually we do like 10 days of stream, but it got kind of like backwards. Hey, I'm behind you. Happy Monday. Yeah, this map I don't even think like actually like covers it. Like we're like around here. What are we doing today? That's a great question. The answer may surprise you. No, I actually have no idea what I want to do today. I'm just very tired today. I don't know if it's just because I had a bunch of, or well, not a bunch of, the opposite of that. I had no caffeine over the past couple days. My body's just like, usually I'm like full of Diet Pepsi and tea and whatever, but it's just, not the case this weekend. I actually had a lot of beer this weekend, like more than I was intending to. But it was good. We dressed up as Cosmo and Wanda from Fairly Odd Parents. Am I still sick? I don't think so. I'm a little raspy this morning, just because I'm not awake yet. It'll clear up a little bit once I have a couple sips of my my Pepsi, if you will. But no, I'm not sick. I'm just really tired. Did a lot of stuff. Had to make a bunch of stuff for the potluck. Went out and saw my old friends from college. We did a little like get together. And because one of my friends from college, he just got back from like a Euro trip. And so we wanted to ask them like, you know, how was that? Like, what did you do? How was Europe? I guess they went to Germany, they went to Prague, and they went to Austria, and was it Germany, Prague, Austria, and I think he said like Sweden or something like that. I can't remember exactly where he said. I know the first three for sure. But it was just interesting because like I've said on stream a few times, like I haven't really like traveled much. So it was just like, what did you do? Like, how was it? Like, what's it like in this other country? Like, you know, it was just fun to be able to ask those kinds of questions. Let's get rid of this guy. But yeah, no, it was a pretty solid weekend. I got to spend time with the wife, and you know, that's always a good time. I love spending time with my wife. Yeah, I think she had a good weekend too. We're both exhausted. We actually almost skipped the old college friend meeting yesterday, but we were both like, no, like, you know, we really want to see them, and I'm glad we did too, because turns out one of them definitely needed some support. So they just went through a pretty hard breakup. We had no idea. So, but yeah. No, it was a pretty solid weekend. I'm hoping to hear back from that job this week, as well as a couple others I applied to. At least I hope. And, yeah. So, today, I don't really have a set plan. I was gonna extend the house, maybe, so that we can set up, like, a little bit of another hub. But I also would like to go out and get more of those red mushrooms. And I'm thinking I can grow them myself, potentially. I just want to see, like, we have these, so we can get podzol, and then we have red mushroom, which I can use to grow more mushrooms. So Actually, we probably have podzol up there just from the trees we already grew. So, I'm gonna go try and do that. So that would actually save a lot of time. Now, what jobs have I applied to? Yeah, so I'm stuck in this weird spot right now where... oh, the cat is gonna try and follow me. I need to make him sit. Yeah, I'm stuck in this weird spot right now where if I apply to, like, engineering-related jobs, they don't want to hire me because I don't have a PEng. Which, for those who don't know, is, like, a professional engineering license. You get that after, like, you know, getting your bachelor's degree in Canada, and then you do, like, I think it's like 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours of work under another PEng, and then you can apply to, like, get it. It just means, like, you're super, super qualified, and you've guaranteed had X amount of hours at work. And, so they don't want to hire me because they don't have that. And then any other job that's, like, lower than that, so, like, a production job or, like, a lower level position, they don't want to hire me for that either because they go, oh, well, you have an engineering degree, which I don't, it's an advanced diploma. But they don't want to hire me because they're worried, like, oh, well, you're just going to get an engineering job and leave in a week. So why would we bother hiring you if you're just going to leave again? So, a little bit frustrating, but, you know, it kind of is what it is. I'm really holding out for this job I applied to, so I'm really hoping I get it. Just because I know a lot about the job itself, and, I did, it has to do with HVAC, which is, like, heating and refrigeration and stuff like that. And I actually took a course on that in high school. So, not only am I super familiar with it, but it, like, ties into my engineering stuff, too. So, ow. Could you imagine I died to a mushroom? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm still cautiously optimistic. The job is, like, pretty close to my house, too. So, that would be really nice to not have to drive very far to get to work. My last job, I had to drive, like, 45 minutes just to get to work every day. And, obviously, that's not fun. So, we'll see what happens, right? You know, that'll definitely change the streaming schedule. I've been kind of trying to come up with ideas on how I can, you know, change that and make sure that it doesn't affect anything. Because the channel is actually growing quite fast. Faster than I expected, honestly. So, especially now that I've kind of figured out, like, when to stream. And I also had the thought, too, that, like, my last biggest stream was the one where we fought the Ender Dragon in Season 2. And now we can fight the Ender Dragon again in Season 3. So, we have a lot more fans, a lot more subscribers, and I'm hoping that that stream ends up even bigger than the other one. No guarantees, obviously, but I'm hoping around episode 10 we can go do that. So, I'm just grabbing some of these mushroom blocks for, like, wallpaper. And, okay, we have some visitors. Gentlemen, get off my property. You shoot me on my own land? And what do we got? Ominous, Bad Omen 1. So, not the greatest, but I mean, I'll take the Bad Omen bottle. What did the stream get to when it was first waking up earlier? So the first one I did where I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning and streamed, we were actually hit like 102 people, which was pretty crazy. And to put that in perspective, when I fought the Ender Dragon, it was about 102 people. I think it was like about the same. So the fact that changing it to, you know, 2 hours earlier influenced the amount of people that much, I'm curious that if I fight the dragon, you know, and also do it early in the morning, that my viewership will hopefully, like, skyrocket, and I'll get a bunch of subscribers, because we've been really close to 5,000 subs for, like, the longest time, and I would really like to try and hit that goal before I go back to work. Again, no guarantees. Like, I'm not, like, trying to force the issue, but it would be really cool to be at 5,000 subs before going back to work. It would definitely give me a little bit more motivation to, like, keep the channel going. Because it is going to be a lot of work, right? Like, I'm going to have to balance that and family life and hanging out with my wife and stuff and, you know, trying to get other games to play for the channel. I'm actually very close to beating Hollow Knight. I did the White Palace this weekend, which I was stuck on for a couple days. It's just a bunch of, like, crazy platforming. And I managed to do it, so I want to do the Colosseum hard mode before I move on to fighting the final boss, and I also want to upgrade my sword to the final sword. So, yeah, well, it's the plan, right? I plan to start Silksong soon. I can't do it for the YouTube channel, though, unfortunately, because it'll screw with the algorithm, but I can definitely stream it on Twitch, and I might stream it on YouTube, and just, like, not save the VODs on YouTube, and only save them on Twitch. But I think I can download them off Twitch, and then just, like, I can make, like, a highlights channel, or, like, a separate channel for posting all those videos. And then that way you guys still get the content. But that's jumping way further ahead, so I'm just focused on the Minecraft right now, and then when I finish Hollow Knight, I will figure all that stuff out. But that is essentially the plan, is I do want to do Silksong before it's no longer popular. I kind of dropped the ball with Skate, which sucks because, like, I actually do skateboard, so you know, Skate's kind of dying off already. But yeah, that is the plan, is to play Silksong. I just need to finish Hollow Knight, which, like, I'm at the boss fight right now. Like, I'm literally, like, there. So depending on what happens today, I may go try and beat it today, but I sort of want to get the last nail upgrade before I try it. Because, like, I do feel like I can beat it now with enough, like, you know, brute force and banging my head against a wall, but it'll be way easier if I just have the final nail upgrade. Here, let me throw a bit of this in. When are you doing a face reveal? I'm probably not, honestly. Which ending are you going to go for in Hollow Knight? I actually don't know. So I actually just learned yesterday that there is more than one ending. So I actually don't know which ending I'm going to go for, just because I didn't even know that was a thing. As for a face reveal, I'm not intending to do one anytime soon. You know, age reveal was already kind of pushing it for me. I didn't even really want to do that, but I felt like you guys deserved it for all the support. But yeah, we'll see. Honestly, I'm surprised that Bacon Kink hasn't already found my social media and stuff. It's been the little detective. I did an age reveal, like, a while back. Yeah, I think it was in Season 1, actually. Yeah, I'm like 300 years old. Yeah, oh, it was Season 2? Okay. Yeah, I'm actually like 300. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I did say we were going to do? I did actually say we were going to do, an iron farm right here. Which I'm actually not opposed to doing now. Although it's kind of boring. But here, let's get a bunch of these fallen leaves off the ground. I'm actually not expecting a lot of people today just because I streamed a little bit later than I wanted to, but I was just so exhausted that, like, I was not getting out of bed. I woke up into the bathroom at like like 3:30, and I was like, okay, like 45 minutes, you gotta start streaming. I'm just like, no. It is not happening, I'm sorry. So, I'll try and do it again. I actually had the idea of doing a 12-hour stream just to, like, just because, but if I'm gonna do that, I'd rather, like, do it super early in the morning. And then it would end before my wife gets off work, so I can still see her after work. Are you doing a collab soon? Yeah, so I tried setting that up with that psycho guy that was in my stream a few streams ago. And someone pointed out to me in the last stream that their channel is gone. So I don't know exactly what happened with that, but I was trying to set up some kind of collab with them, and they were being a little avoiding of it. So I don't know if maybe they stole their channel or something, but you know, I hope everything's okay with them. Like, they seemed nice enough when I was talking to them. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with that, but you know, it is what it is. Here, I'm gonna run back and try and sleep. And while that's happening, I'm gonna pause for a sec. I'm gonna go make my wife's tea and say goodbye to her so she can go to work. And then I am all your guys's. I like this house because it's super safe. Like, there's no mobs or anything, or no creepers or anything that can blow me up here, so that's good. Yeah, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna just run and grab the tea for my wife. It's already made. I just need to pour the water and stir it. And, yeah. Be back in a sec. Alright, boys and or girls and or those of unspecified gender, we are back. That's actually from Team 4-Star, if you can believe it, the Dragon Ball parody. Men, women, and those of unspecified gender, and it just like it kind of just works for like nowadays, right? I feel like it's like the most polite way of doing that. Anyways, we're back. I was debating on making a iron farm, but I also just realized that I don't have a lot of stone bricks. Now, I don't have to make it out of stone bricks, but it is typically how I do it. So, I'm thinking maybe we go get some levels. You know what I could do? I could start a mob spawner. That's not like the worst thing in the world that I could build right now. I am kind of low on blocks. But let's start it and see what we can do. I'm just going to make the crappier one for now. I do want to make the like super cool redstone one, but if it ever gets to that point, then I'll just remake it. The copper golem is Jeeves, for those who are asking in chat. And the tea is Earl Grey. My wife is big into Earl Grey. And, again, I'm not a big, like, hot drink person. Like, I don't really care for hot drinks, to be honest. But, she's kind of got me drinking Earl Grey, too. So, when I've had tea the past few mornings when I've been on stream, that's what I was drinking as well. Okay, so here's sort of my dilemma. We need to make the portal here. Like, that's just where it's going to be because it's at 0, 0. Like, that's just where it's going to go. I don't know where to put a mob spawner because, like, my issue is like, I want to put an iron golem farm as close to the shore here as possible so that when we're in the house, it still generates iron. So I want to make the mob spawner, like, sort of around the house, but I also want to put it, like, in the ocean so that other things can't spawn, right? Because, like, the further away it is from shore, the less spawn areas there will be. So I was sort of thinking further out this way, just to get a little further away from the shore, and it'll help with the mob cap. Can't you just make a chunk loader? Technically, yes, but I'm trying to unload chunks. It's kind of like the opposite, right? So, I shouldn't say I'm trying to unload chunks, but I'm trying to, like, make the mob spawner as close to the ocean as I can, and, like, close to the base as I can so that things still spawn, but also far enough away from land so that all the mobs don't just end up on all the islands and stuff. So I'm sort of thinking here, normally I would build it up to the sky, right? But because our base is underwater and I want to be able to still spawn things while in the base, I'm sort of thinking about building it at sea level, which will affect the amount of mobs. But I think in this circumstance, it's actually our best bet. So let's try and build it here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fair enough. Here, I'll go 6. We'll do it like this. Now, I will preface this with I have built these things probably 100 times at this point, between my own files and my wife's. When we play together, it's typically my job to make the mob spawner, so I've definitely made enough of these to know what I'm doing. The only thing I'm never certain about is the height to make it. I usually just make it at like 20 blocks above, but I think you can go 21. It's not a big deal. It just means that the mobs need like an extra swipe to kill. I still want you to do a stream with your wife. Yeah. So first of all, Free Rider HD. I don't know what that is, but this channel is kind of strictly Minecraft, so I'm gonna keep it that way for now. As for streaming with my wife, I've asked her about it, and she's just not super comfortable about it. Hey, Bacon Kink. So, I wouldn't expect that anytime soon. Just because, like, respect her privacy and decisions. But yeah, like, she's super supportive of the streaming and everything I'm doing. So I don't want to, like, push my luck kind of thing. She does occasionally pop in to watch the stream. She just doesn't go and chat, that's all. Where are we at? Yeah, so it's like this, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I'm just setting up a bit of a perimeter right now just to know where we're at, because I definitely don't think we're gonna have enough blocks to finish this. And then this needs to go 7. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the source block. And then make a little wall here. There we go. He's back. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, Darko and Bacon Cake, you guys haven't been in the chat together in a while. Sorry, I'm not trying to be quiet. I'm counting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this is the wall. There we go. And tuck this guy down here. Oh, we got lots of people showing up right now. Oh, geez. Darko's been missing out. Yeah. Here, let me do this. Oh, geez. Sorry about that. All right. This is essentially the pattern it needs to be. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it goes up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the source block. 8 is the wall. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Whenever you show up, Darko leaves. I mean, I can't attest to that, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 is the wall. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the wall. There we go. This is just kind of the skeleton of it. I have a feeling we're going to need to go get more blocks before trying to finish this. The good thing is we have a bunch of wood for trapdoors, so that's kind of the part that's usually a pain. But I think we'll be okay today. Trying to remember. I had a plan to like get stone for the iron golem. I don't remember what my plan was exactly. No, this does need to be higher. In my head, I was like, this doesn't look right to me. No, it's because it's not. This takes too many blocks. 24 watching is pretty good. It is pretty good. So shout out to you guys for watching. You know, definitely starting to build a bit of a fan base now. I was actually talking about it with my friends over the weekend. My one friend, she actually works on like a locally famous podcast where they get like local celebrities and stuff on the podcast to just talk about like the city we're in and, you know, stuff like that. And I told her how many viewers we were pulling in. She's like, oh, that's actually like impressive. I was like, oh, thanks. So the fact that she's running like a more professional setup and has like an actual studio and stuff and was saying like, hey, you actually have like, you know, a decent viewership. That was like a little bit motivating. So yeah, shout out to you guys for all the support lately. It's been really cool. I've noticed the Discord especially has been starting to pop off a little bit. So I've been popping in, you know, here and there just to see what you guys are up to. Is this too high? Am I making this wrong? I don't think so. Why does this feel too high now? Maybe I did make it too high. Right, 'cause it'll be water here, then trap door, then ground. I don't think I need to make it this tall. Like I said, I've built this thing 100 times, so like that doesn't seem right to me. Because like with the water here, I don't think they could get out. Especially if they don't have a target. So here, let me take this down. Also, a new episode of Critical Role comes out today, which is going to be pretty sick. We just finished episode 3 last night. Critical Role is the D&D podcast that we watch with all the professional voice actors. And the end of the last episode was pretty crazy, so I'm really hoping that today's episode kind of follows up on what we just learned, because, oh my god. Hey, Unknown Instinct. Glad to see you around. Did you miss anything so far? Not really. We're just kind of building a mob spawner right now. You know, threw up some wallpaper. So, nothing too crazy yet. We're just trying to get a quick little mob spawner going. Unfortunately, I just ran out of blocks, so let's figure out what we're going to do about that, because I would prefer to make it out of all the same block if possible. So, let me run back in here for a sec. Let's see. We'll put this in with mob drops, I guess. And we'll put that in there. I do need to go feed the cows again. I'm trying to stay on top of that because that's also like a backup source of XP too. A lot of people don't really get like how much XP you actually get from breeding animals. When I first started playing Minecraft, actually, my first like quote-unquote mob farm before I looked up like how to build one was I just made like a massive area full of chickens. And then one day I just, you know, went around and killed them all and bred all of them, and that was like my main source of XP for that file for like the longest time. Hey, Rachel D. I was playing that game I recommended and was beating my best and died on the last jump. The track was 1 min 44 inch long. Well, sorry. I don't know what the game is, so unfortunately I can't really comment on it, but you know, that sucks. Sounds like it anyway. Okay. The other thing too is I was originally gonna make a mine in the house. So I could start a mine here going that direction. I know we already have one here, but you know, just for keeping everything in one place, I could essentially put another mine in, even though we already started one. Actually, I need string. I don't have a lot of leads. There we go. Got one whole string. That big spender. Alright. Let's head down into the pit. Actually, see, my problem right now, too, is I don't have any coal. And that's been kind of bothering me a little bit, too. So I'm hoping we can find some while we're down here. I'm just grabbing a bunch of bamboo. I'm going to turn it all into sticks. Because torches need sticks, and not a lot of people know that. There. That's probably enough. Okay. So yeah, on the way down here, I just need to keep my eyes open for, you know, a little coal vein or something. I mean, there is that one up there, but that one's kind of hard to reach. Let's head back down a little bit further. What do we got here? Got some iron. Don't see anything. I was hoping to... Like, the problem, too, is like I actually have a hard time seeing the deep slate coal ore. Just because of my color blindness, so from a distance, it's actually like a pain for me to try and see it. So, just gonna have to keep my eyes open, I guess, and just hope that I run into something useful. But I need at least a little bit of coal to get this going. So, let's try and find a smaller one up here first, because I think it'll be a little bit easier. Yeah, let's check around in here. There's got to be something. Here, what's this? I want to try and get at least like a stack of torches to get us going. And then we should have enough to like strip mine or whatever. Because I don't just want to sit in the dark for you guys. That's like boring for you, right? I wish you could still do the thing where you could like turn off your gamma. There's some. Along with some friendos. Gotta go, see ya. Alright, I'm behind you. Go to school, get that bread. Let's see here. Grab some of this, because we still don't have a lot of iron. That's actually why I wanted to make the iron farm. Where are we at for coal? 53, that's actually tons. I forgot we had fortune. I was like, okay, we gotta go find a few more veins, and God, I hope I have enough. Yep, there it is. Beauty. Okay. So, also, I don't know what the weather's like for you guys, but we're starting to get, like, more of the, you know, traditional fall weather in North America, where, like, all the maple leaves are changing colors, and, you know, like, the yellow and red leaves, and it's starting to look really sick outside. But unfortunately, we have a lot of rain the next few days. So there's a very real possibility that my stream quality may drop at some point if it starts raining. I've noticed that my internet seems to be really bad when it's raining for some reason. Funnily enough, actually, yesterday before we left, there was a bit of rain happening, like no thunder or lightning or anything. It was just like light rain, and we had a power surge. So I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with that. I'm assuming lightning hit somewhere nearby and it just caused things to flicker, but I'm hoping that doesn't affect the stream. The last time there was a big rainstorm while I was streaming, I did notice a few people complaining about quality. So just let me know. I'll try and like up the bit rate or something if that happens. Again, I did, sort of off topic, but sort of on topic. I did lower the ad rate, so hopefully you guys don't get a lot of ads while I am streaming. But yeah, I'm not really doing this to make money, so I'm just doing it to chill. And I have the stream scheduled to do them every half hour, rather than letting YouTube have full control over it, because then they would do it like every like 15 minutes. Oh, sweet. Free deep slate. But, yeah, just let me know. I can't really make it less infrequent than that other than just turning them off. But if I turn them off, YouTube can still put ads anyways, so I'd rather control them and do them every half hour than not control them and have YouTube do it every 15 minutes. But just let me know. I'll see what I can do. And we're already up to 2 likes on the stream. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I generally try to get to 4 every stream, but we'll get there eventually. I actually noticed a lot of people watching the VODs this weekend, so shout out to you guys. I was actually, like, paying pretty close attention to that. So anyone who's, like, trying to get caught up, like, I really do appreciate that. So, already up to about 3 stacks of deep slate. I don't know how much I'm going to need to finish the spawner, but it's definitely more than that. Honestly, I'm probably going to need, like, most of an inventory full. I could use slabs, I guess, technically, but I sort of don't like building with slabs unless it's, like, specifically calling for it. Like, I don't like doing my floors out of slabs, because then, like, say you accidentally, like, drop water down, then it, like, waterlogs the slab, and then you don't know where your water went. You have to, like, go around looking for it, and it's kind of a pain. But, oh, 4 likes. Thanks, guys. Immediately hit the like goal. Can't even argue. You guys are awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah. I don't know, my cat is chilling behind me. Thankfully he's not freaking out today. You know, he's definitely... This weekend he was kind of an ass, so my wife, because I've been doing a lot of, like, the chores around the house, and, like, I had to go get a bunch of stuff for the potluck this weekend, and, like, I've just been doing a lot, so she got me flowers, which, you know... I saw a statistic and, like, a quote about it the other day. It kind of made me sad, but most men don't get flowers until their funeral. And, you know, that's kind of crappy, but my wife, you know, she loves me and I love her, so she got me some flowers to show she's, like, appreciative, and, you know, I love that. And we put them up on my wardrobe so that the cat can't get to them, because, like, cats can't go near, like, certain plants, and just to be safe, like, we don't actually know if these are cat safe or not, but we just put them out of the reach for them, so you just can't get them. And at 4 in the morning he decided, oh hey, there's flowers up there, I'm gonna jump on top of the wardrobe I know I'm not supposed to be on and wake everybody up. So he did that, and then my wife, like, kicked him out of the bedroom. I was sleeping on the couch because I was snoring that night, and whenever I snore, one of us takes the couch just so that the other one can get a good night's sleep. And it's not like a, like, get on the couch sort of thing. It's just, like, that's just what we do so, like, everyone can sleep. But when he came out here and he started meowing to get back into the bedroom, because I don't know why, but to him, if the bedroom door is closed, it's, like, the end of the world, and, like, everybody needs to know about it. I went over and I was like, buddy, shh, like, you know, be quiet. and he thought I was like scolding him and yelling at him, so he started like meowing as if he was in trouble or like in pain or something, which was even louder and more frequent. So then he woke up everybody, myself, my wife, and probably half the building I'm in, at like 4:30 in the morning. So he was being a little bit of a spaz, and then when we finally did get up, he was just like being a menace and doing everything he could to like get our attention, which includes like, you know, scratching the walls, destroying the couch, like everything else. So had a bit of a dude, what the heck moment with him this weekend. He just would not relent at all. His little kitty brain was determined to get our attention by any means necessary. That's so weird noise. I don't know if that was the game or if that was in real life through my microphone, but yeah. He's being suspiciously quiet today, considering how he was acting this weekend. But let's see, how's my inventory looking? Can I get rid of anything? I'm gonna try and bring back as much deep slate as I can and just hope that it's enough. I don't mind making the walls out of something different if that's like ends up being the case, but I would at least like to make like the main platform out of deep slate if possible. I'm actually kind of shocked we haven't seen any diamond yet. But hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I actually saw this morning someone broke into the Louvre and stole a bunch of art and like crowns and stuff. The Louvre being the like big museum or the big art museum in France. Apparently they walked in just wearing yellow safety vests and nobody questioned it, and they just walked in, grabbed a bunch of shit and walked out. So I don't know how they managed to pull that one off, but obviously there was a lapse in security somewhere. But that's pretty crazy because like the Louvre has some of like the world's like most priceless artifacts and paintings and sculptures, and so the fact that they pulled that off is like, it's impressive, but also kind of scary that they were able to just kind of walk in wearing safety vests and nobody questioned it. Where are we at? I could do this. Tough is important, but I don't really need it quite yet. But I think I'm getting ready to turn around. I was just going to throw some stuff in my shulker to kind of see where we're at. I probably should have used a different shulker for that, but that's okay. Not even a shulker, it's a bundle. Jesus Christ, I am tired. Not even like awake yet. Like yesterday was so bad. Like we didn't even want to like go to the meetup with my friends strictly because we were exhausted. Like not because we didn't want to see them. Like I want to make that very clear. We actually love these friends of ours, but actually one of them was in my wedding party. But yeah, like we were so tired, but like no, we gotta go. Like we haven't seen them in a while. And like afterwards, I took like an hour-long nap while my wife watched the Great Canadian Baking Show, and drooled all over her pillow, and then woke up and I was like still tired, and I was like, I could go back to sleep right now, and like you probably would fall asleep within the next like 5 minutes. I was exhausted yesterday, and then I got a full night's sleep last night. Like we went to bed at like 9 o'clock. Still got a full night's sleep, and I'm still sitting here like, I could go back to bed. And like, I don't feel sick, I'm just exhausted. The only thing good about this strip mining right now is, although we're not getting diamond, we're getting a lot of redstone. I do hear lava coming up though, so, okay, there it is. Found it. Here, that's a lot of deep slate. Let's head back. And we can keep working on the spawner. I I also saw too that Moist Critical is going through some drama right now about their ad revenue. I guess they turned off like charging for memberships, and they showed their ad revenue, and it was like insane. Like they've made like essentially $50 million in ad revenue in the past 6 years, and they're like, I feel like uncomfortable taking your money, and I respect that, man. Like that's like, you know, to not let greed cloud your judgment and be like, hey, like I have enough, let other people, you know, keep their money. Like that's like, that takes a lot of balls to say that in real life and admit that. And like I'm sure he, like, I don't know Moist Critical very well, but I'm sure he does like charity streams and like helps out with other streamers. I've definitely seen him on like other channels and stuff. But yeah, he said like not even including like brand deals and merch and all that stuff, like he's made like $50 million in 6 years, and so he feels uncomfortable charging people for memberships, and that's crazy to me. Like that's like to basically start a business and then tell people, hey, you know, don't pay me more money for my business, even though you're essentially giving it to me for free. Like, good for him. And like, I guess there's a lot of backlash because like other streamers are like, oh, he's gonna set a precedent. You know, other streamers are gonna be called out for charging memberships even though they're super wealthy and blah blah blah. And like, while I don't disagree with that argument, like it could do that, I feel like they're kind of blowing it out of proportion a little bit. Just letting one person, you know, do that isn't gonna be like the end of the world. So but yeah, like good for him. Like I can really respect that. And like I'm trying to do something similar to you guys. Like I don't make money off Twitch and YouTube. Like I am monetized on YouTube, and I actually used to make a little bit of ad revenue, but when the algorithm changed, like Minecraft, you know, plummeted in terms of like how much your CPM is. And so, you know, I'm trying to reduce the ads for you guys while still keeping it active so that YouTube doesn't like just give you more ads, and I kind of control how many you get. But, you know, I'm not trying to make this a full-time job. And the fact that, you know, I would love to get paid to do YouTube. Like, I'd rather do this all day than, you know, go work in an engineering office. But I think anyone would agree with that. Like, getting paid to play video games for a living and just talk to people from around the world is, like, a crazy job. But, yeah, like, shout out to him for, like, actually doing that and, like, recognizing how privileged he is and doing something about it. Okay. Let me sleep. Sorry, I'm just a little phlegmy. I'm not sick anymore. Like, that's not like a sick cough. That was just me like clearing my throat. But yeah, like hopefully I get to that point where I'm, you know, making good money off YouTube. Like that'd be crazy, but it's definitely not the goal here. Like I'm just doing this because I have nothing else to do while I'm out of work, essentially. But I've been really enjoying like meeting fans, and like, you know, the fan art's been making me laugh, and my wife's been getting a kick out of it too, and obviously I like making her laugh, so yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the future is for this channel. I would love for it to continue, especially when I go back to work. I'm going to do my darndest to do that, but we'll see. Hey, we hit 40 viewers. That's crazy, guys. So, thanks for that. Did I do it again? I think I did. So, shout out to everybody watching right now. Just sticking around and hanging out. We did actually just cross the 1 hour mark of the stream. But, you know what I do actually need to do? I need to make an infinite water source before I screw this up. So let me make one of these corners quickly. Just so I don't have to jump back all the way down there to get more water. 1, 2. There we go. And then I'll do this. There. I don't know if anyone's like built these before, but they're kind of a pain to build. There we go. Like, they're not difficult, they take a lot of resources really early on if that's what you're trying to do. Actually, I kind of need that. There we go. But this will be good because then we can get a silk touch pickaxe as opposed to a silk touch shovel, which, don't get me wrong, the shovel is still helpful. Like, I'm using it to get a lot of things right now, but you know, definitely a pickaxe would be better. Here, let me take this down. There we go. Should be good. Damn, we're getting a lot of bots on Twitch today. I've actually been getting a lot of telemarketer calls lately. I don't know if you guys have to deal with that, but I've had my phone number for like 10 plus years now at this point. Maybe even longer now that I'm thinking about it. And I don't know what happened, but somebody overseas, they like started using my phone number to like sign up for stuff. And so I constantly get phone calls like, your DHL like package is, you know, delivered and needs to be picked up from the post office. But a lot of times, like, I'll get like telemarketing calls or like messages on my phone and they'll be in Mandarin. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, so I can't like interact with you. And actually, when I went to go buy my like ring I proposed to my wife with, we went to like the jeweler, and when we went to go like check out and like make an account with them and blah blah blah, they actually said like, hey, do you already have an account with us because your phone number is already registered? And I'm like, no, because like I'm not buying diamonds, I'm not rich. Like, you know, of course I bought my wife like a good ring, but like I'm not a rich person. Like, I don't buy diamonds on the regular. So I was like, I do not have an account with you. I'm quite certain of it. And they're like, oh, well, like, you have an account here. It's not like, is this your name? I'm like, no, it was some like Asian sounding name. And I was like, that is definitely not me. And they're like, yeah, okay, well, you might want to like look into that. And since then, I've gotten like so many telemarketing calls and so many calls, like people, it's like people looking for payment for things. So, but the thing is like, they didn't steal my identity or anything, right? Like, it's not like they're using my name or like my address or anything. It's just the phone number. So I don't know where they got my number or why they keep using it, but they seem to think that it's their phone number, even though they have no access to it whatsoever. It's super frustrating. Okay, so just for anyone who doesn't know how these work, so basically what's going to happen is I'm going to fill up these water channels here, like this. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, so water only flows 8 blocks plus the, or like including the source blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it drops down, and then this becomes the new source block, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and stops just before where this cobblestone is. This is like the mob trapping hole. And the plan is to do that with all 4 of these, and then on the platform we're standing on now is where the mobs will spawn. And when they're done spawning, they'll fall into these little channels that'll basically drag them down into the hole. They'll drop a certain distance so that they take a certain amount of fall damage. And then you can walk down there and one-shot them, and then you get all the XP. That's like the basics of how most, if not all, mob spawners work. There's a couple weird ones that use like dogs and stuff, but those are like for very specific circumstances. Like if you're doing a certain kind of challenge, for example, where it's like, you know, I think I saw one where like the player wasn't allowed to hurt any mobs, but they could use like dogs and stuff to do it for them. And so they set up like a blaze spawner and like, you know, did it like that. They had like a bunch of dogs at the bottom that would like attack the blazes for them. But yeah, this is essentially how a mob spawner works. There's a couple things I'm going to do later that'll kind of explain when I do it, but essentially you put trapdoors going across here. And so the mobs think like, oh, I can walk across this. There's trapdoors, but if you open the trapdoors, they go to walk across and they just fall into a hole. And that's how you kind of trick them into thinking like it's safe and you can just trap the mobs in the little channel there. But again, I'll go more into that once I get to that point. We're going to need to get a bunch of wood, which thankfully we already have quite a bit of it. And I'm going to need to make hoppers as well. 5 likes. Thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate that. There's a lot of new shows coming out this week, too. I don't know if you guys are fans of the show Has Been Hotel. But, the new season's coming out. It's like a... I don't know. It's like a cartoon about a bunch of people in hell. And the princess of hell is running a hotel that's like a rehab center for people who have been sent to hell. And she's essentially trying to prove that souls can be redeemed even if they're already in hell. And every single episode is like a... I feel weird calling it a musical, but that's like essentially what it is. It's got a bunch of like fun songs. But if you're into like dark humor and you know, sing-alongs, it's definitely a good show to check out. And the new season is coming out in the next few days, actually. So pretty excited about that. The other thing too is, so we did our Halloween potluck this weekend, and that was a lot of fun. Like we did, my wife and I were Cosmo and Wanda, and I realized that, you know, just because we did the potluck, real Halloween isn't for another couple weeks. And so I could technically put together another costume. And I was actually going to ask you guys if you had any ideas of costumes I could do. And if it's something that has a mask of some kind, then I could technically post a picture of myself and not reveal like what I look like. So you won't get a face reveal, but you can at least get like a Stein reveal, if you will. I actually do have a cosplay of Stein that I made years ago. I don't have like a wig for it or the bolt going through the head, but I definitely still have the lab coat. So unfortunately I cut my hair recently, so I don't have like the long hair like he does anymore. But obviously I'm going to try and grow it back as much as I can. Like, once I have a job again, then I already have the job and I can just grow my hair back. But for now, I need to keep it looking a little more professional. Which, you know, sad face. But it is what it is. Guts. I've actually never seen Berserk. I know the story of it just from, like, watching Death Battle. That channel by Screw Attack that puts, like, fictional characters against each other. And just, like, from friends of mine who have, like, you know, read and or watched that anime. But, yeah, that'd be cool. Just to have, like, a giant, like, greatsword or something. Oh, wow, that did not go nearly as far as I thought it would. Here, let's torch up here. And I actually do have a bit of wood on me. So I could start the trapdoors, I guess. Here, let me... just to get you guys, like, sort of an idea of how things work. It's definitely not enough wood, but it's more than I thought I had. So yeah, you go across like this. And then, so mobs will recognize this as a full block, and so they'll walk across it. But what you do is you open all the trapdoors like this, and mobs are dumb and they don't understand that you've done this. And so they still think that this is covered, so they just go do 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 do, and then they just fall in, and then eventually they'll all fall down this pit, and that's where you collect your items and your XP. You know, pretty simple. These mob farms have been in the game for like over a decade at this point. There are better designs that I actually do prefer, but they involve a lot more work in redstone, and I don't want to do that on stream because I don't know how to build those ones off by heart. But they are definitely way better than this design. I'm just doing this as like, you know, something to have and kind of move things along. Yeah, don't worry, I saw it. Eat food. For the potluck, actually, we made meringue cookies, which I've never had before. Well, I shouldn't say I've had them, I've never made them. For those who don't know what meringue is, you essentially take egg whites, so like not the full egg, just the whites, and you mix it with sugar, and then you mix the crap out of it for like half an hour, and you mix in cream of tartar, or tartar, and basically what it does is it like thickens it up into like a gooey paste, and it's essentially just like sugar. And then you put it into like a piping bag and then like make it into cookies. And thankfully not everybody ate theirs because there's some left over. And I can have them. We're on day 46, dang. I've been trying to keep up with the sleeping so I can like push the day counter forward a little bit. I'm hoping to get back to day 100 before we fight the dragon. I want to hit like day 100 approximately on day 10. That's sort of how I do it. I try to do like 10 days per episode. Just kind of like, it doesn't have to go like that. Like I've definitely had times where I've gone longer or shorter, but it's just like, you know, a good goal to hit for every stream. Just trying to do 10 days because that's like 200 minutes of content, which is about 3 hours and a bit. You know, obviously if I sleep, you skip the night, so it kind of throws that number off a little bit, but you get the idea. But yeah, let's go grab some more deep slate. And we don't have to do the roof at a deep slate, but I would like to complete like the rest of the spawner. We kind of got like, I'd say, not quite half. I think we were at like about like 45% of it. But after this trip, we should be able to complete everything except for the trapdoors and the roof. And, oh, and the hoppers. And carpets. But like those are like kind of quick things. I'm not super worried about that. So, shout out to you guys. We're at 41 viewers right now, which is like pretty crazy. Twitch is kind of slacking today. Oh, right, we ended up in lava at the end of this, didn't we? That's okay. I'll just switch directions and we'll just go a different way. Hopefully it's the way to all the diamonds. But yeah. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Trying to think of like more things to talk about right now, honestly. Chat's kind of gone dead, but if you guys have any questions for me or want to talk about some stuff, you know, get some opinions or advice or anything, like, by all means. There we go. Got all that tough back. I like that you can do like tough bricks now too. Like all the chiseled tough and all that stuff. Just busting out rhymes without realizing it. Here, can we get through this? I would like to keep this tunnel going if possible, but... Okay, that's not so bad. Let's see if we can get past whatever lava is above us. It might just be like something pouring out of the wall and we just kind of got unlucky. But... Jeez, my voice is sounding like really deep today. It's weird. You're definitely going to need to remember to get the redstone. Not just because we need redstone, but because it helps to, you know, give us more XP. If I had mending, it would also repair the pickaxe, but we're trying to get back over level 30 to get some more gear, because unfortunately we don't have a lot of enchantments yet. I don't like that there's prod on the helmet. I kind of want to get blast protection, but one thing at a time. 6 likes. Thanks, guys. So, let's fill up our inventory with this again, and it should be enough to finish it. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but we'll see. Hey, Wembu. The resident artist is back. Back with a vengeance. There's some diamonds. There we go. Wembu, you brought the diamonds with you. Thank you. What have I been up to? We are building a mob spawner. So, hang on, I'm just taking a quick peek just to see if I see any more exposed diamond. I'm not going to go, like, looking for it. I just want to see, like, if there's any, like, within eye shot, then we'll grab it. But we got 13 diamonds out of that, which is great. Holy stroke. Yeah. I am making a mob spawner. Right now, we're just collecting a bit of material so that we can make a mob spawner for XP. And popping in to click like on this almost 50 viewer stream. Yeah, really. Thanks, Virlink Medium Duty Industries. What's the deal with your name anyways? I've been meaning to ask you about that. Diamond down there. Sir. Like, I'm sure it's some sort of, like, reference to something, but I have no idea what the reference is. Murder. Heavy duty industries imply a legal liability I'm not comfortable with. View count is growing. It's actually been kind of paused for me. I don't know if you guys are seeing something different. Like I'm paused at 40, but you know, Virulink seems to think I'm close to 50. But either way, I'm content with 40. Like, honestly, if you guys want to bump it up, you know, more than thankful for that. We're up to 7 likes too, which is pretty crazy. So shout out to you guys for already pushing the likes. Like, we're not even 2 hours in yet. We're already almost at like the same amount of likes as last stream. I noticed a few people liked the stream over the weekend from the VOD, so that was really cool to see. For a little while, like in the beginning, I was actually liking my own videos after the fact, just to like help boost the algorithm a little bit, but I stopped doing it, and you know, now I don't really have to because you guys are so supportive. I can't finish any fan art since exam is just around the corner. That's okay. You're good, Wembu. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I've noticed we've been getting a few memes in the chat too, which has been funny. Or in the Discord, sorry. Ooh, I need to... I keep thinking I have the same armor from last season, so I'm being a little, like, risky. I need to, be careful of that. Aw. Yeah, I definitely don't miss exams. Like, I don't know if you guys are in high school or college yet, but in college you have midterms too, which are basically like halfway through the semester you do an exam as well. And I had classes where there were 3 midterms and then also a final exam, and that was the worst. I had one class when I was at university. I did university for 2 years. I didn't finish, but I was there. And my one class, the midterm was worth 50% of your grade. And, you know, obviously that's a lot because if you fail the midterm, you're basically failing the class. And I had a class that was similar. I think it was a 40% midterm. And I actually got the date wrong. And I ended up missing the midterm. And had to go talk to the professor and like have a meeting with him, and he gave me a second chance to basically use my exam mark as my midterm mark. But I was just so stressed from school, and I was so out of it from just like studying and being locked in my room that I just forgot the date of the exam. And then my friend who was in the same program like came waltzing in later and was just like, "Hey, so how'd you do?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, on the midterm. You know, the one that's worth like 50% of your grade or 40 or whatever it was. I was like, what? And yeah, that was a night of panic for sure. Definitely never made that mistake again. But I thought the exam was the week after, and I had written it down wrong, I guess. And yeah, don't do that. It's not a good time, I promise you. Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss exams just from pure stupidity. You did miss tea time, actually. My wife is long gone and she has her tea. I'm failing class, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Like in high school, like failing a class is way bigger a deal, but when you're in college and university, a lot of people fail classes. Like, spoiler alert. Dang, there's more diamond here. Went from not finding any diamonds to having almost a stack. Yeah, we're at 49. Yeah, no, like, I don't want to say it's not a big deal. Like, it's absolutely a big deal because you're, you know, paying to be there, so you're just wasting money at that point. But, yeah, don't stress too much about failing a class. Like, you can retake it as long as you're not like on academic probation or anything like that. Just like there's other like rules or stipulations, but definitely try your best. Like, you know, if you're distracted or you're going out too much or whatever, like sit down and study. It sucks when you get far behind. Like part of the reason why I had to drop out of university, you know, I got really far behind because I was dealing with a lot of stuff at the time. Like for example, like my dad had passed away, one of my ex-girlfriends had cheated on me, like all of this stuff like happened like within like, you know, 4 months. But basically my only advice is don't get far behind, because what ended up happening to me was like I was at school and then I didn't have textbooks for the first few weeks, and by the time I finally had the money to get textbooks, like I paid my tuition and everything, I just didn't have any money for textbooks. And by the time I finally got textbooks, we were on like week 5 or 6, and trying to get caught up on 6 weeks worth of content and then write an exam and then keep building on that content for the rest of the semester is so hard to do. Like, you think in your head like, oh, I can just like stay up all night and do this and do that. Like, no, you can't. Like, just you can't. Especially if you're in engineering, like it's not happening. Other classes, I can't like speak for other programs, but for my personal experience, like once you're behind by 2 weeks, you're cooked. Like, you just, unless you have a tutor or someone to help you, or like the prof sits down with you and like explains it, like you're basically screwed unless you're a very, very good independent studier. You know, I'm an okay independent studier, but I'm not that good. And that's what kind of screwed me. Like, I didn't fail all my exams, but I got really low grades, and it kind of screwed me for the rest of the semester. But, you know, it is what it is. Live and learn. And basically what happened to me is I had to drop out of engineering school, and then I went back for computer science, which is like, you know, programming and working with computers and stuff. And basically they said, like, yeah, if you do well enough in computer science for the first year, you can transfer back into the engineering program. But it was so programming heavy, and I was so, like, uninterested in doing what they were teaching, because it had, like, nothing to do with what I went to school for, so I just, like, I didn't have, like, the background for it, or, like, the want to do it. They ended up just saying screw it and leaving, and just worked for a little while and saved up money, and then went back to the college level engineering. But I don't know, just stay in school and pay attention is basically what I'm getting at. Yeah, Wenbu definitely brought the luck. Like, holy crap. We had, like, no diamonds, and now we're at 68. I actually do have X-ray. I'm just not using it. I actually don't even know if it would work on this version of Minecraft, to be honest. I think it was for, like, 1.16 or something last time I had it. I don't really play online, though. It was just for, like, messing around. I was just like, oh, like, can I get this? Actually, you know what the real reason was? I actually just remembered. The reason I got it is because I was building mob spawners, and I wanted to sit on the ground to make sure that mobs were actually spawning. So I could look up and X-ray through the bottom of the spawner and see if there were mobs there. And then I ended up using it after that for finding diamonds. But that was, like, the original intent of it. Because I was, like, super against it. I was like, I don't want to be a cheater. Okay. We're actually at level 27. Like, we started the stream at level, like, 19, I think. So, we definitely found a lot of redstone while we've been down here. Speak of the devil. Like, you can get redstone from clerics later on, but it's not my preferred way of getting it. I'd rather strip mine for it, because you can get more of it with fortune, and it's free. But I've definitely had times where I've run out and I've been like, okay, trade all the clerics. Do I have the replacement for Gilmore the Third? I do, actually. That's a good point. I should go set that up. Someone in the comments actually last time said that we should call them Gil 4 instead of Gilmore. And I think that's a funny idea, so I might actually do that. But we will have Gilmore the Fourth flying in our skies. When I'm done the mob spawner, remind me, and I'll go set that up so that we can start hydrating the dried gas. I found, like, I think 5 dried gas last stream, so I almost said last semester because we were talking about school so much. But yeah, no, I will definitely set that up. And the cool thing is like, so the dried gas, once they, like, grow up, they tend to stay around, like, where they were rehydrated. And so because our base is underwater, we have no indication of where our base is above water. But now that we have dried gas, we can just use that as our little indicator. Can you condense your redstone and gold into blocks to save some inventory space? I can do that. That's actually a mechanic I always forget about. You know, when you play this game for so long, you start to forget, like, oh yeah, you can do that. Here. Redstone blocks. And I can even do it with diamond blocks, honestly. You can do gold. Wouldn't having Gil 4 help with building the mob spawner? Why wait until after? That is a good point, but the mob spawner is actually almost done. So it's a little unnecessary right now. But that is a good point. But the other thing too is we'd have to wait 20 minutes for him to turn into a baby ghast, and then I don't have any snow. So we'd have to wait until like 20. Actually, I think I do have snow a little bit. And then I'd have to either feed it a stack of snowballs or wait another 20 minutes. Where I could just, in that time, I could probably mine and finish it before that even happens. So. Yeah, I wish you could give them like speed potions or something to make them fly faster. I get why they made it slow because like if you have 4 people riding the same gas, I can see like loading chunks being pretty resource intensive. And so they probably made them ride slow so that the computer has time to catch up if you have like 4 people riding the same gas. But either way, like I really wish you could like do more. I do like that you can attach boats to dried gas and like fly things away. That's huge, even though it is slow. Like it's 100% worth it. Well then they should make it slower based on how many people are riding it. Yeah, I can agree with that. My wife actually, she's been collecting all of the dogs and cats in Minecraft, and she finally found the last dog recently. And she had to fly back using a dried gas, and she put the dog in a boat and flew it back like 5,000 blocks, and it took like 45 minutes to get home. It was ridiculous. I felt so bad. Plus, Minecraft doesn't need another overpowered flying mechanism. Yeah, like, I don't know. I like flying machines. Hey, diamonds. I do like flying machines just because, like, you know, you have to, like, do the ingenuity for it. But now there's, like, so many simple ways to build flying machines that it's like, eh. I'm glad we were actually finding lapis. That was something that was kind of starting to worry me a little bit, that we hadn't found a lot of it yet. Usually I have so much extra lapis that I don't even bother collecting it anymore. And, now we have some. And we have 8 blocks of diamond, so 8 times 9 is 72, plus this, so we have 95 diamonds from this trip. So Wembu is the diamond master right now. Think about it, we had like barely any, and then Wembu showed up, and now we started finding them like crazy. Here, let me... Here, toss them in here. I'm just trying to get as much deep slate as I can so that we're guaranteed to be able to finish the spawner. I think we can with what we have, but I just want to, like, guarantee it. That's about the point where you stop caring about diamonds. Pretty much. Kind of at that point. Geez, I am blowing up on everything right now. Just opened my phone. I had like 50 notifications. You know, for someone who doesn't have a lot of friends to hang out with IRL, I still get a shitload of notifications. Ooh, cave. So here, let's... I don't care about 3. I mean, I do, but... Quick little search around. I hear spiders, so... It's always good to check caves if you're below, like, Y40 something. Because there's a very real possibility that there is a bunch of resources. Specifically diamond. Because the further down you get, the more diamond, more exposed diamond there is, and like the bigger the veins are. And when you're in strip mines, you only have the top and bottom, and then your left and right walls exposed. But if you're in a cave, you have all this surface area exposed, so you might actually find diamond. Just a little pro tip for you. If you're ever strip mining, definitely check out the caves. So let me just take a quick peek to this big open room over here, because I wouldn't be surprised if there was a diamond vein somewhere over here. Nope. Just undead. Pro tip, look for diamonds in caves. Yep, that's a certified Stein pro tip right there. I am, this Minecraft professor. Pro tip, pickaxes break blocks. A lot of people don't know that. Also, Minecraft, everything is cubes. I'm dropping some sick Minecraft lore right now. Also, diamonds are rare and expensive. No, it's a circle. Oh, my bad. I don't know my shapes. I'm colorblind. I'm sorry. Actually, that reminded me. So, like, my wife and I, we joke back and forth a lot, right? Just, as couples do. And she kind of forgot about this joke, and I reminded her of it recently. But one of my favorite jokes that she ever came up with, or I guess it's like a bit, is, like, everybody claims they're not good at math. And that's always bothered me because, like, I am kind of good at math. But basically using, like, oh, sorry, I'm bad at math as an excuse for everything. So just, like, you bump into someone in the grocery store and you're like, oh, sorry, I'm bad at math. And then just, like, walk away and leave them confused. And I always try to think of, like, really dumb situations where that's, like, really, really funny. Stop making me feel so single. Aw, Wembu, come on. In fact, here. Want to know how my wife and I actually met? It was actually, like, a pretty crazy story. So, at the time, a little before my wife and I met, we were both in relationships. I won't go into too many details, but let's just say they both weren't working out. I was living where I was living in a shared student house because I was in college. And my wife was also in college at the same place, but basically her and her relationship didn't work out. And mine was on the rocks and just not going well. And, I was losing hair. My mental health was just not good at all. Like, I can fully admit it, I was in a rough spot. But basically, we both broke up with our respective others for various reasons, but none of them were really good. And, I was depressed and upset, and, obviously I was single again. And then I was like, I'm gonna focus on myself. I'm gonna, like, I used to smoke cigarettes for a little while. Don't smoke cigarettes, guys. It's, like, the worst decision of your life. Like, I didn't smoke anything until I was 19. And then I had a bunch of bad stuff happen to me, and I just kind of did it to cope with the stress. But, like, it's not worth it. Like, don't ever smoke cigarettes. It's not worth it. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna quit smoking and I'm gonna start exercising and, just kind of like getting my shit together. And, after about a month of that, of me just getting my shit together and focusing on myself, not worrying about dating, I'm like, I'm not gonna date for a while. I'm just gonna improve myself and make myself better. My wife was, she had her relationship go down the toilet and was looking for somewhere to move out to because she was living with her boyfriend. And long story short, she ended up picking the student house that I was living in. And she did a tour and, decided to sign the lease. And then, her and I met via, like, Facebook, and we chatted, like, hey, I'm your new roommate. Oh, I'm your new roommate. Let's chat. And we had a lot in common, like, right off the bat. And then a couple days later, she showed up on my front doorstep with a bunch of her belongings and, moved in. And we immediately clicked. Like, it was like everyone, even her ex was helping her move her stuff in, and even he said, like, yeah, you guys will be dating. Like, she moved in September. He's like, oh yeah, you'll be dating by November. Ooh, skulk. Yikes. Okay, we're turning around. Long story short, he was right. Not only were we not, I thought you can't be roommates with a guy. Not in school. We were in a student house, so, like, it wasn't, like, owned by the school or anything like that. It was just, like, a house rental that a bunch of students were living in. usually like meet a bunch of people when you lived in res in first year, and then get together as a group, and then basically, oh my god, they were roommates. um, basically, yeah, like you'd meet a bunch of people and you live in residence with the school, like on like school housing, and then you get a group and like, rent a house together. And I was already living in the rented house. She was just moving into it as like to replace another roommate. But yeah, long story short, he's like, oh yeah, you guys are gonna be, dating by November, because they could already tell, like her ex could already tell just like how like in sync we were. And spoiler alert, 3 weeks later we started dating. Obviously we jumped into it a little fast. Like I would not recommend that to most people, but especially like dating a roommate, that can end so badly. But we just both were, we had just gone through breakups, and I was working on myself, and I looked like crap at the time. I actually don't know why she found me attractive at all. I was like super underweight and skinny and just looked like crap from quitting smoking. I was like puking all the time because I just felt sick all the time. But, I just shot my shot basically. And she apparently had a little crush on me too. And it kind of worked out, and we've been together ever since. I actually started sleeping in her room because we each had our own bedroom, right? But we started using my room as like a study room, and her room as like our shared bedroom. But yeah, we just kind of stumbled in. Like she literally showed up on my doorstep, and we've been together ever since. Yeah, she's my best friend, and I love her. So, don't sweat being single. Work on yourself. Go to the gym, eat healthy, and basically, if you do good to yourself, people will notice, like, hey, that's a cool person. Like, hey, they go to the gym. Hey, they, have cool hobbies. I want to, like, know this person. Wow, this person's really cool because of, X, Y, and Z. And then, people will take notice. And that's how my wife and I met. And, 8 years later, we are still together, and now we're married. And we have a little kitty cat and a little gecko, and talking about kids, and we don't have kids yet, but in the future, once we get a bigger place and a little more established. But yeah, so don't sweat about being single, guys. Like honestly, just focus on yourself. Get in shape, do things that make you happy. It helps to have things to talk about that you're very interested in. It doesn't have to be any, like, you could be like a stamp collector, but if you talk about it with passion and like show like, why it means so much to you and it's interesting, like other people will notice that charisma and attitude, and it's attractive to be confident about what you're talking about, or just confident in general. And even if you're not like the most conventionally attractive, like I know I'm not, I feel like I'm ugly as hell, but yeah, just, focus on yourself, and you'll never know what happened. Like the minute I started focusing on myself, and, I used to be pretty obsessed with finding a girlfriend because I just wanted that companionship, but, once I stopped doing that and just was like, screw this, I'm going to focus on myself and, just get my own shit together. My wife literally showed up on my doorstep. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Don't worry about being single. Like, enjoy it. Party, work out, try new things, try new hobbies that you can't do while you're in a relationship. Like, just have fun with it. Don't treat it like it's something bad. Treat it like it's something like you're training, like you're in like the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball, and you're like, when I get out of here, I'm gonna be like super badass and cool, and everyone's gonna like me. Like, don't just sit there like, oh, I don't have a girlfriend, whatever, I'm so depressed, because that's what I used to do. And then the minute I stopped doing that, I met my wife. So that's my 2 cents. Would my future partner love me when he finds out I'm obsessed with MCUIT who have a purple skin? You never know. My wife likes me, and I'm a giant weeb and nerd, and I have like 500 different hobbies that don't make sense. I'm sitting here at 5 o'clock in the morning streaming to a bunch of people that I don't know. Like, she's super supportive of that, so you'll find someone. Think about it too, like, you're not going to meet someone unless you go out, right? So like if you join a class or join a team or something of something you enjoy, you're around a bunch of other people that enjoy the same thing. you have common interests. You can talk about the thing you guys both like. You can, you know, hey, say like, hey, why don't we go for dinner or something? We can talk more about this, or you know what I mean? You know me, I'm your cousin. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. Hobby reveal when? That's a good point. I don't know. You guys kind of know my hobbies. Like I play a lot of video games. I skateboard. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon VGC. Like VGC rules. Yeah, I don't know. I have lots of hobbies and talents I've acquired over the years. Like I can juggle. I actually learned to juggle in a doctor's office, weirdly enough. I don't know if you guys have this where you are from, but in school you get like the scholastic like book thing where you can like basically like once a month in your classroom in elementary school they'd like bring this like little like I guess like magazine around, and you could order like books or like little things that are like education related. I actually used to get the Captain Underpants books when I was younger. But one of them was like a learn to juggle book, and I convinced my mom to buy it for me. And like we didn't have a lot of money, but it was pretty cheap, so she decided to get it for me. And then the day it came in, because usually it takes like a month or two to like ship it, and they ship it to the school and you get it at your desk. I had a doctor's appointment that night, and we were in the waiting room because like full disclosure for people who aren't from Canada, like Canada does have free healthcare. You know, it's something we're very proud of. But the problem with having free healthcare is everybody has free healthcare. And so when you go to the doctor's office, even if you have like an appointment, sometimes you get stuck there for, you know, 5 hours just waiting to get in to see the doctor. So while we were in the lobby, it was like me and my siblings, I went out into a separate hallway where there was less people and just like read the book, and it came with these like little like essentially hacky sacks, like little like sandbag things to learn how to juggle with. And I sat there for 4 hours and just taught myself how to juggle. And now it's something I can show off to like my nibblings, and you know, just random times where I'm just messing around, I can juggle things. I'm actually really good at hat flipping. So like taking like a baseball cap and just like, or like a snapback or something, and flipping it and landing it on my head. That's like one of my random skills I picked up from just learning how to juggle. You can usually get it within like 1 to 2 tries. I had a friend in high school who would sit there constantly trying to flip his hat and catch it, and he could never do it. And then I'd walk by and do it first try, and he'd get like so pissed. We're skateboarding and other YouTube stuff. Yeah, basically. I'm trying to think of other hobbies I have. I used to be pretty active when I was younger. I used to like work out. I don't like going to gyms. I actually talked about this yesterday with some friends, but I don't like going to the gym and working out. I don't like, you know, grunting and like exerting myself in front of a bunch of people like that. It just feels weird to me. But I do like exercise. I actually played soccer growing up for like 5 years, or football for those over in Europe. And then I had to give it up just because like we had to move and just didn't have enough time for it, and my mom couldn't like drive me. But I played soccer for 5 years, and you know, super enjoyed that. I didn't like watching soccer. So like I never liked watching sports until I got into skateboarding and I could watch skate videos. But I remember watching soccer for the first time on TV at my babysitter's place because they were really into Manchester United. And I remember playing soccer, and it'd be pretty physically demanding sport. Like I was in midfield for a lot of my time as a soccer player, so I was like running forward, running back, running forward, running back, interacting with players, defending the ball. Like I felt like I was like never getting a break. But then with watching soccer, like there was like people faking injuries and like, you know, passing the ball back and forth between players for 5 minutes straight. And I remember watching it for the first time being like, this isn't soccer. Like, what is this? And I was like so confused because like my babysitter at the time was like, yeah, I heard you like soccer. Like, here, we're putting soccer on. I'm going to watch it. I'm like, great. And I watched it and I was like, what is this? Like, this is not soccer. And it kind of turned me off from watching it on TV. And I still love playing soccer. But yeah, it blew my mind as a kid, where I was like, what is this? Like, is this why people hate soccer so much and why they like football? Because like my dad, like he was really into watching football and boxing when I was super young. And I just was like, yeah, I get it. Like contact sport, it's exciting, you know, like fumbling the ball, I get it. But when I played soccer, it was like, yeah, I'm like shoulder checking people. I'm, you know, doing like all these fancy tricks with my feet and, you know, I'm faster than this person, I'm outrunning them. And when I watched it, I was just like, what is this? Like, is this why everybody hates the sport that I'm in? Like, it made me question a lot of things. Oh, my bad. I forgot we actually went to a garage sale this weekend, so I set an alarm for 8 o'clock. That's when the garage sale started, and I forgot to disable that alarm. So hopefully that wasn't too loud for anybody. So Wembu old? No. If I had to guess, Wembu is probably like 18-ish, around there. Maybe a little younger. I haven't figured it out yet, but let's do a Wembu age reveal. Yeah, I'm still young too, don't worry. Casually puts away birth certificate. Bacon kink on the case. I'm not ancient like Stein, yeah. You know, not everybody can be 300 years old like me. Takes a while. Okay. Let me get rid of this. And we are in... Actually, it's quite a bit of deep slate still. We might actually be able to do the roof out of slabs. Here, let me... We'll do this. And I should put down torches before I forget. Okay. Dolphin's Grace. Okay. First things first, let's go feed the cows because I am starting to get a little low on food, but we've been keeping up with this a little bit, so hopefully this will, you know, I won't die to fall damage in my own house. But also, after I do this level of breeding and everything grows up, we have what I would consider a sustainable source of meat. There we go. This is the wallpaper I was talking about, by the way. I just used a bunch of the polka dot mushroom blocks. I think it's fun. Let's see here. So I need slabs and trapdoors. I guess I can use jungle wood for the trapdoors, or at least some of them. We're gonna need this eventually for hoppers. So I'm actually gonna throw some iron. Cause I need what, 5 each? So yeah, that's enough. So I'll take that out. Let me throw this stuff in here. Redstone, diamond. Here, diamond blocks. Dang, we're getting pretty rich. Yeah, we'll do lapis. Sorry, I just want to empty out a bit of this. There, that should be pretty good. Oops. We'll throw all the blocks I don't need. Okay. I also need... I'm going to do the hoppers first, I think, because that's going to be a pain to set up later. Black wool. It's not going to be enough, though. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I need 20 iron so that I can make 4 hoppers. And then I can do the carpets later. It's not a big deal. But once I do that, I can put the hoppers in. Then I'll climb back up to the top. And I can put the roof on it along with all the trapdoors to make it so that spiders don't spawn. The only thing is, as you can see here, we have drowns spawning because this creates a big shadow over the water here. And it allows things to spawn. So we need to be careful keeping the doors closed now. Unfortunately. But that's just how she goes sometimes. You guys fighting over chat again over there? There we go. Okay, so we'll make a couple hoppers. Well, 4 hoppers. I'm going to make trapdoors. There we go. We do need a lot more trapdoors. Because we need to fill in all the channels, and then we also need to fill in the floor. So this might actually not be enough, but we'll see. For those who keep seeing me push the letter R, it's because I have my inventory set to R so that I can put W and E beside each other as like forward and run. Just a little quick pro tip for you. If you want to change your keybinds, I prefer it that way, but this makes it so you can hold like W and E to move forward and run. I'm actually going to go to sleep. All 3 dogs did the head tilt at the same time to me. That's funny. They were all in sync. Okay. So yeah, let's go up here. This drown has copper armor. Look at him go. I got copper pants. Tight. I don't have any torches on me. That's okay. So yeah, we can break this. Here, I'll go in here. Yeah, I still need to fill all that in, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe I don't have enough blocks. Ugh. We're about to find out, because I need to do this before I do the roof. So here, we'll tower all the way up here. And I'll get this open. There we go. And I will pop myself up here for a sec. Okay. Let's throw down a bunch of trapdoors first, just to get that out of the way. Unfortunately, they're not the same, but we're not going to see this anyway, so it's not a big deal. And then we'll kind of see where we're at. Do that. There we go. Yeah, so we're definitely not going to have enough, but we can do the majority of it. And then we can just take down one of the spruce trees, and that'd be probably enough just with that. Okay, so yeah. So that's good. And then I'm gonna do this. You can use other things for this as well, like carpets, or even slabs. So we may end up having to use slabs instead, but let's just see how many trapdoors we can get away with. And what this does is it actually prevents spiders from spawning, which spiders do have a bit more use now, so I'm not, like, opposed to it, but they can kind of clog up the spawner a little bit. So, I don't know. Kind of depends on what you want to do, I guess. Personally, I don't like having spiders in my spawner. Let's see, trapdoors and trapdoors. Bacon Kink's heading out. Alright, see ya, Bacon Kink. Okay, that's 2 corners. We can do this one here. Yeah, we're definitely not going to have enough trapdoors, so I might end up just doing slabs to finish it. Here, let's 1, 2, 3. I don't want to use all these blocks because I actually kind of need them still. But there we go. And we'll do one more side here, and then the spawner is basically done. So at night, we're actually going to get a bunch of mobs spawning if I don't torch. So, trying to do this as quick as I can. Jeez. As I say that, I start messing up completely. There we go. Okay, so that makes it so the spiders won't spawn. And what I need to do now is get back down here and fill in the walls, which shouldn't be too hard. And I also need to put hoppers in. So here, let's do that now. We'll do one here, one here, one here, and one will go to a chest that's there, which I'll quickly throw in. There we go. And then we'll put carpets on this later. It just helps the XP come out a little bit easier. Sometimes it gets kind of stuck in the slot of the hopper. But there we go. And now we need to fill all this in. And then once we put the roof on it and take away all the torches on the inside, it is done. I don't know if I'm going to have enough blocks for the roof, unfortunately, but we can cross that bridge once we get there. Alright. Yeah, it is getting later for a lot of people. This is actually around the time I would normally start streaming, but lately I've been trying to make a point of doing it a little bit earlier, just so that everyone can show up and hang out. You know, in time zones and whatever. I was actually looking into, can you not just do the corners to save blocks? I could, but I want it to look better. For sure. You're not wrong. You know, if I'm gonna have to stare at this thing, I want to make it how I want to make it. There we go. And so I can... There we go, break that. And then... hop up here and break this. Okay, so... basically, the only thing that's missing now down there is I need to put slabs down because mobs can still technically see me. But for now, we need to start making the roof. So I'm going to start over here, I think. I'm just going to grab this and put it here. And we'll start filling in the roof. So, 1, 2, 3. Get some slabs. And this is the really boring part, unfortunately. I hate having to do this part, but it's a necessary evil. And using slabs is great because it prevents mobs from spawning on the roof. And because I didn't make this out of wood, I don't need to put any lightning rods. Which sometimes you do. If you like, I've made these out of wood before, and you have to put lightning rods down to make sure it doesn't burn down. Which I've also had happen, and it sucks, because then all the mobs just go free and run everywhere. Definitely not a good time. But we'll fill it around here. And then we'll jump inside and start filling in one of the corners. Do that just so we can still get on top of it. And it is almost nighttime. Now, normally I'd be kind of nervous about this, but we do have torches down right now, so we should be pretty safe. I did the edge first just so nothing could spawn on the edges while I do this. And so I'm going to, just as a precaution, oops, gonna do this, because that way I won't accidentally fall in the channel and fall to my death while I'm filling things in looking up. Again, that has happened before. And then I'll probably block off the top here just to make it safe temporarily. There we go. Okay. And so now I just need to fill in the roof. And then when I take away the torches, mobs will start spawning. So I want to wait to do that. I need to fill in the slabs at the bottom first. If you want to turn it into just a creeper farm, what you do is you put trapdoors all on the underside of this, and then it makes it so that the height here is only tall enough for creepers. And so you end up with just only creepers, and you get a bunch of gunpowder from that. But I kind of need all the drops right now, so that's why I haven't specified it to only creepers. Eventually I could technically go back and fix it, but it's a little dangerous, so I'll wait until we build the better mob farm later on. And then do that. Oops. But this is basically it, guys. So we'll get this going, and then we'll get a bunch of XP and a bunch of items. You can make one quadrant holy creepers. Yeah. Like, I'm not super worried about it because I don't have an elytra yet. And by the time I get one, I'll probably save up enough gunpowder where it won't really matter. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. But yeah, once we have this enclosed, you'll see. You can just, oh yeah, I already saw that. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying not to miss your messages, but I also do kind of need to pay attention just in case I screwed up with my torches and a creeper spawns behind me. So just kind of bear with me. I'll keep looking at chat as much as I can, though. I know now that bacon's gone, the chat's gone completely quiet. So that tends to be the case, typically. Just fill all this stuff in. I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep watching the stream. I mean, it's very possible. Honestly, a couple people now have suggested I make a Minecraft ASMR channel. I thought about doing it just for kicks, but I don't know what I would, like, put on it exactly. Yeah, so we got about halfway down the roof. ASMR, yeah, no kidding. No, just like in what format? Like, do I just do like individual block sounds? Do I actually play the game? Do I, like, there's a lot of like stipulation to that, you know? Here. We'll do this as a way to get out. Chill vibes, calm voice. Yeah, basically. Everything you need to sleep. Pretty much. Okay. I'm gonna go sleep, and then I need to go grab a bit more deep slate. I won't go to the end of the tunnel, though. I'll start a new tunnel. But, yeah, I'll grab a bit of deep slate, and then we can finish the roof, and we should be ready to go. I do need to find a couple bits of wool, too. So here, I'll actually grab shears for the trip. Because we need 4 carpets as well. A stream where you don't talk and you just play Minecraft with the satisfying sounds? Yeah. I know those exist. I've never personally watched one, so I don't know, like, what the deal is with it. But here, let's go find a sheep quickly. That shouldn't be too hard. And then we can run down, grab the last little bit of deep slate we need, and then we should be good to go. I think that's, like, basically the whole thing built. You're not a sheep, you're a chicken. If old MacDonald taught me anything. Oh, I just thought of another hobby. I used to play saxophone, actually. I played electric guitar in like high school, but in like my music class in high school, I did like 2 years of music. I played alto saxophone, and I really miss it. I wish I lived in an area where I could get away with doing that, but I feel like my neighbors would absolutely hate me if I was practicing saxophone all day. Practice in the park? Yeah, no kidding. Just busk for money in the park. Did I just did I just eliminate all the sheep in the area and that's why I'm not finding any? Oh, there's one. Give me one more white carpet, please. Here, maybe he'll eat grass if I don't spook him. Hmm. They're usually pretty quick about it. Come on. I have a wool farm. I know what it's like. Eat grass. Do it. Look at it. See? Delicious grass. I know some of the houses actually sometimes have carpets. Maybe I can cheat my way into one. Maybe this one? No. Mr. Sheep, come on, you're my only hope. It's a little bit concerning that I only see one sheep, but I guess I was avoiding cows, so I must have killed all the sheep. So, I mean, I guess I have 2 black wool back at the house, but I prefer it all to be the same color if I can. Here. Let's run this way. Hopefully we can see. Yep, there's one. There we go. Just give me one. God damn it. Do I have food on me? I guess not. Here, I'll make bread. Make that bread, son. Okay. Here, I'll grab a few. Just because who knows when I'm going to need wool again. Okay. Alright, we'll go grab a little bit more deep slate. I'm thinking like maybe like 6 stacks will probably do it. And then our mob spawner's done. Activating it is usually a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, but do I like snow? I like how snow looks. I don't like shoveling it or being in it, if that makes sense. Like obviously I'm from Canada, you know, we have snow. How do I explain this? I like the cold. I don't like heat. I don't like being sweaty and sticky. Like that just sucks. I like the cold and being able to like wear sweaters and be comfy. But I don't like shoveling snow. I don't like being like rolled around in snow. I don't like being like wet and cold and like uncomfortable. If that makes sense. You know, I obviously said it a few times now. I skateboard. And I never got to really try like actual snowboarding as a kid because I just didn't have the money for it. It's kind of like an expensive sport to start when you're a kid. my mom wasn't gonna give me like $1,000 to go drop on a, snowboard and boots. But I don't know. I have like a love-hate relationship with the snow, where it's like I love looking at snow. Like I think it's pretty, and I like, snowboarding I think is cool and like all that stuff, but I don't really care for the snow as a whole. Winter, love it. Cold, love it. Christmas time, like that, love it. But past that, eh. Here, we'll start going this way. I actually really need to go to the bathroom. Oh crap, I don't have torches on me either. Alright, whatever. We'll figure it out. I don't want to like sit here in the dark and you guys have nothing to look at, you know what I mean? Do I like guns? No. I have never shot a gun. I am not a gun person. That's more of a US thing. I do have like family members and like friends who hunt. I actually grew up in like kind of like a busy city, so there wasn't a lot of like hunting going on necessarily. More like, gang violence kind of guns, like pistols. But not really my thing. Like I'm not into like violence really. A friend of mine's a hunter. He showed me his guns and, be like, oh, I'll take you hunting and I'll do this and I'll do that. And I'm like, I don't know. And like, I'm not unaware that like, the meat in our grocery stores comes from like hunters or butchers or, slaughterhouses and whatever. Like I fully get that. It's just, I personally, unless I absolutely have to, I don't like killing things. Like even when we have bugs in our house, I typically try to like let them outside. I've made a bit of an exception lately just because we've had so many spiders in our house the past few weeks that like releasing them all outside just like isn't practical. But I'm not big into guns. I'm not big into like fighting or violence. I'm a bit of a pacifist. I feel like you can solve any sort of issue with words. But sometimes other people just like, some people don't react well to words. Sometimes you kind of need to physically get them to see their ways are wrong. If that makes sense. Do I like my fans? I love my fans. You guys are awesome. I never thought in a million years I'd have fans. You know what I mean? Like I'm just some random dude playing Minecraft early in the morning. Yeah, no, the fact that like, Wembu, you and like a couple other people have done fan art and memes, and we've made a bit of a little community here. It's really cool. That's why I'm like so like, when I start working again, I want to do something to like keep it going because like it's been really fun. What motivated you to start streaming? Honestly, I don't really know. Because like I started my channel during COVID, right? And it wasn't really meant for streaming. It was meant for like uploads. And then, I've seen live streamers here and there, and I thought it looked kind of fun. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. And like, I've always been pretty good at public speaking. It's just like a skill I somehow have, even though I'm like actually pretty shy in real life. But like making speeches and like public speaking, I've always enjoyed, and I've been like good at it. And so I just decided to give it a shot, and it's turned out to be a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of cool people, learn stuff about different places around the world and like what's going on. Get to laugh and joke with you guys. So it's been a really positive experience for me. I haven't really had too many negative experiences with streaming so far. I've only had to really ban one person. And for people who've been around long enough, they'll probably know who I was talking about, but they were talking about someone with a small mustache, and I didn't really appreciate that. So, yeah, I got to meet my long-lost cousin. Hey, Nick, how's it going in the Twitch chat? Sorry I'm late. No, you're all good. I'm early, if anything. But yeah, no, streaming has been like overall a very positive experience. Like my wife gets a kick out of it when you guys are making fun of me and making memes and stuff. Like, You know, it's, you know, I've been showing other people, like, they don't get it, you know, like, they're like, oh, that sounds, like, interesting, but, like, we're not part of the gaming or streaming community, so, like, they don't fully understand what's happening. But, you know, a lot of people have been overall supportive. Like, I haven't really had anybody be unsupportive of it, so, and again, like, I'm not trying to make a career out of it, but it has been really, really fun to stream. That's probably enough, I think. I sort of want to get 3 more stacks just to guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure we're good for slabs. Would I still be around in 5 years? First of all, Nick, how are you? I'm doing pretty good, actually. This has been a pretty chill stream so far. We're just in the middle of making a mob spawner. We're actually about to finish it once I'm done getting all this deep slate. Would I still be around in 5 years? I don't know, because hopefully in the next 5 years, like, we'll be having kids. I know a lot of streamers do have kids, but I don't know how that'll influence, like, streaming schedule or work or anything like that. So, I want to be, is kind of the answer to that, but I can't predict the future, so I don't know. I'm a little nervous for when I start work if I can even keep the community alive, let alone grow it. So, I would love to keep growing and getting bigger as a channel. But I get that, like, YouTube isn't the place people typically go to for streamers. It's usually for long-form content, and then Twitch is for, like, streaming, so... we'll see. Speaking of which, we got another bot in the chat, so... you know, I've noticed that I've been getting suggested more, and people have been showing up like, hey, like, someone told me about you, or hey, I, found your stream through the suggested list, and you're pretty chill, so... Like, truth is, I don't know if I'll still be here in 5 years, but I would like to be. So, we'll see. Like, for example, like, today's been a pretty successful stream. Like, we've had 40 people here for the majority of the stream, so, like, my watch time on this stream is going to be insane. Compared to other streams. With my earlier start streams, I've been getting around 80-ish watch hours total, and then, like, after the fact, people will watch the VODs to kind of add another 10. So I'm getting about 90 watch hours, and if you think about it, like 40 people, I've been streaming for about 2 hours, like that's 80 right there. So, I'd consider this a pretty successful stream. YouTube tends to look at watch time more than views, so that's why I'm kind of going off that. Wow, we're at level 29 too. We started at 19. So I'm actually almost at a point where I can get more enchantments. So... I don't know. We'll see, right? Like, I'm gonna do my best. It's all I can really expect of anyone else, and anyone can expect of me, is just to try my best and hope it works. And if it doesn't, then at least I don't have any regrets, and, you know, I tried my hardest. So, just pet the puppos. I don't have a lot of food, so I can't feed them right now. Pet the kitty. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? Here, we'll throw this stuff in here for now, I guess. Toss that in. And yeah. Let's... I want to get the bottom of the spawner fixed first, because I know I'm going to forget that, and then I'm going to go down here and forget the slabs and then get killed. See how there's like a gap here right now? I need to fix that because mobs can see you through that. There we go. There. And then I can do this. Items can still go through the carpets, but XP will sit on top of it, and it just makes it easier to get. And because this slab is here, the mobs think this is a full block. So it actually thinks that this is completely encased, and now mobs, like even creepers, they won't explode if they end up down here. Just a little explanation of the mechanics for you guys. If you have the chance to have a job that pays 6 figures, but the cost is to stop streaming, which would you pick? I mean, I'll be honest, like, you know, streaming doesn't pay my bills, and the only reason I can stream right now is because I have a place to do it, so, like, it's a hard answer, right? Like, obviously I would pick the 6 figures just because I need to like support my family, and that's like at the end of the day, you know, the more important thing to me anyways. Just to make sure that the people I care about are okay. I've always tried to put everyone else first. It's actually kind of a problem. I basically, if everybody else is okay, then I'm okay. I don't need a lot. Like, I need, like, you know, a dry place to sleep and a meal, and I'm, you know, content. I don't need fancy cars. I don't need a lot of money. I don't need whatever. To be honest, the only reason I actually got into engineering, besides the fact that I just enjoyed it, was to make a lot of money because my family didn't have a lot growing up. And so I wanted to be the person to, you know, get my family, not like, it's not like we were in poverty. Like, I know I say I didn't have a lot of money, but like, you know, I wanted my family to have what all the other kids had. Like, it sucked going to school and seeing everybody with, like, you know, fancy clothes and video games and stuff like that. And, you know, we couldn't afford that. Like, we didn't have a flat screen TV until, like, you know, or a monitor for our computer until like 10 years after they came out, because we just couldn't afford them. Like, to put an example, like, just stuff like that. Like, it's not like we were like living on the street, but we were definitely not rich by any means. And I always thought that it kind of sucked how my parents tried their best, but, you know, stuff happened. They ended up divorcing, and, you know, divorce is hard on everybody financially, and it just kind of didn't work out the way I'm sure they planned. Twitch is being super laggy, so I switched over. Okay, fair enough. Hey, Kerp. But yeah, like, you know, I really only worked so hard to, you know, get my family the things I felt like they deserved. And, you know, as a little kid, there was things you didn't think about, like, well, what if your siblings get married to rich people, or what if, you know, your family, I'm just using this as an example, like, my family's fine, but, like, let's just say my family decides to be mean to me, like, you know, I'm working really hard to do all that. So, but it was never for me. Like, I didn't, like, want to make a bunch of money for myself. Like, even now, like, if streaming takes off, you know, like, obviously I'll monetize my stuff. Like, I'm not saying I won't, but I definitely will use it to more so do, like, charity streams and, like, things like that. Like, I want to help other people. As long as everybody else is okay, then I'm okay. I've always had that kind of philosophy, and it's bitten me in the butt a couple times, you know, like, I've definitely neglected my own health and stuff like that just to, you know, work harder or push harder or make other people happy, and that's, you know, not okay. But it's just kind of how I am, right? Like, I just want everybody to be okay. I don't want people to be stressed. Like, I want the people that I care about to be okay. So, to answer the question, would I stop streaming for a 6-figure job? Probably, but I wouldn't be happy about it. You know, like, it is what it is. Like, I'm doing it so that I can help the people I care about, but I do enjoy streaming. I do enjoy talking to you guys. Like, that's sort of where I'm at. As long as everybody's okay, then I'm okay. You know, I don't need to be a millionaire. I don't need a fancy car. But I feel like the people that care about me and I care about them, I want them to have the world. You're crazy for building this at a deep slate. Yeah, no kidding. I don't know. I usually end up with a bunch of cobble, and this time I had a bunch of deep slate, so I was like, we'll do it at a deep slate. Either way, we're almost done. You know, like, actually my wife was asking me this weekend, because we were talking about, because we were watching, like, scary movies and stuff. She's like, yeah, you don't really get scared, do you? And I was like, not in the traditional sense, not really, no. And she's like, well, like, what scares you? Like, what makes you, you know, experience fear? And like, it was sort of a weird question to ask, and I hadn't really, like, thought of it like that before. And I guess my answer ended up being basically just, like, debt or like, you know, not being able to support the people I care about sort of thing, like that scares me. You know, like when I was younger, like we had our cable shut off because we couldn't pay the bill. And, you know, stuff like that scares me, where I'm just like, oh God, like, you know, what if, you know, I can't pay my bills and I get evicted, or what if I can't pay my bills and, you know, my kid I eventually have is sick. Like that stuff scares me. But it's never like, you know, I'm afraid of the boogeyman or like someone robbing me or someone breaking into my house or whatever. Like that kind of stuff doesn't really scare me. I kind of go into like, you know, defensive mode or like just serious mode, and I stay calm in situations like that. I don't freak out and panic. You know, what scared me before when I was in school was failing out of school. You know, like I was a straight A student in high school and then got to, you know, college and it all went down the crapper, and that, you know, gave me anxiety and fear and stuff like that. So, it's sort of weird. Like, traditional things don't really scare me, but like being in debt scares me. Not being able to support my family scares me. Like, not being a good person scares me. I don't know. Sort of a weird tangent, but... Okay. So I'm just flipping all this stuff up. And we should be good to go. So if I come over here... I don't think the light showing where the slabs are right here, I don't think that actually comes through when this is patched up. So let me get up here. And that should be mob spawner done. And the only way we'll know is if we sit down here and wait. You're crazy. It looks like you're building a medieval torture chamber. I mean, you're not far off. But, yeah, so we just need to wait, and hopefully not too long from now, we'll start seeing mobs spawning. So I'm just gonna widen this a little bit. We're at 8 likes too, guys. Thank you for that. But let's hope that this is working. You know what, can I... Resource packs... Let's try this. I'm hoping it doesn't crash the game, but we'll see. Okay. So yeah, this is an X-ray mod. Again, I'm not going to use it for mining, but it does kind of let me see if mobs are actually spawning up there, which they aren't for some reason. Oh, there we go. Few creepers. So yeah, basically they'll wander around. Hopefully this doesn't blow up my computer. But yeah, see how the mobs are spawning in? So they'll walk across the water channels because they think that there's a block there because of the trapdoors. Hopefully one of these zombies. There we go. So the zombie fell in. And, you know, he's trying to get back out. But the water will force them down the channel. And there we go. And then they take fall damage. And then we can just go, you know, a couple of solid hits, or I guess use a sword, or... I think you're supposed to make it 21 blocks. I made mine 20 block drop. But yeah, and then all their drops will fall into these chests. So let me switch this back, because we know it's working now. Do this. Bro, seriously, cobble deep slate? Yeah. I know. Trust me, I know. It wasn't the best material to use, but it's what we had. And that's basically how a mob spawner works. So, there we go. Kia plays Minecraft. Thanks for joining the chat. But, yeah, that's basically it. So, hopefully it's close enough to our base here that I can get some XP from it. But let me just have a quick nap. Normally I'd make it up in the sky because what probably happened is there's like caves underneath me and stuff, and mobs are spawning in those caves. So what we would need to do is go underground and essentially torch up all those spots, and that'll improve the spawning in here. But for now, just for like our basic needs we have right now, like this should be fine. Use it to get a bit of XP, we get some rotten flesh and some bones, we get arrows, we can get carrots, iron, potatoes, leather armor, all kinds of stuff. So let me try and empty some of this out. That's good enough. That's all stuff that would naturally spawn here. But yeah, and then we just sit here and wait. The other thing too is, so like this is casting a shadow into the ground right here. So unfortunately, we're gonna get a bunch of drowns until I get like glowstone or something to put down there. Because obviously I can't put torches, but I can get like sea pickles or something. And then that'll light up down here and hopefully prevent more things from spawning. And then we're good to go. So let's get to level 30 and we can check our enchantments and see what we got. Good night. Have fun with the stream. All right, Wembu. Take care. Why cobbled deep inside? I don't know. It's just what we had. You know, I used trapdoors to stop the spiders from spawning, but I ran out of trapdoors and wood, so I just used slabs, because that's just what I had. But I made the entire thing out of cobbled deep slate, because, you know, it was easy. We had it. Big spender. Yeah. See, the only thing that sucks about this, so like, here's what I was talking about. So like, the reason I make these is because like I know how to make these off by heart and they're easy, but it relies on the mobs falling in these channels, and you know that's random. You have to wait for them to randomly walk that direction. Whereas with the redstone one, it shoots water out from the center using a dispenser and forces all the mobs off the side, and that way is a lot better because even if the mobs just spawn in, you get the mobs, because like right now there could be a guy that just like wanders this way and then this way and then this way and then this way and never actually ends up in the channel. But with the redstone one, it forces all the mobs to fall, so it's a lot more efficient. But again, like this is what we're stuck with right now, so it'll be good enough for what we need it for. You know, we can start getting resources, we can get food for the dogs, you know, the necessities. You know, we're not going for luxury quite yet. But let's feed these guys. I just want to separate them so we don't end up with any puppos. And yeah. I'm going to throw these in here. We don't have a garbage yet. So that might be on the list of things we could throw in the house right now. This is mob drops. And then I don't have one for slabs, so maybe I can do this as like the slab chest or something. And then, you know, I'll throw wood, keep torches, throw this in here. Backup gear and armor. There we go. And I'm gonna go grab some of this. The chat down there have me, it was not on Twitch. Why cobble deep slate? Yeah, so I'm streaming to both Twitch and YouTube right now. if you see this, remember, I am watching the live stream through Minecraft using web display. Interesting. TF2 Protogen. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. But cool. Thanks for checking out the stream. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube right now, so you can watch on either, depending on whichever you want to watch on, but seems like most of the people watching me are on YouTube. But here we go. We got our cow farm is popping off. Because now we should have enough cows to basically fill this area once all the babies grow up. Awesome. There we go. Great. And that actually gave us a little bit more XP. So let me pop down here. And let's check out our pants. And I don't have any other items on me, but Prot 4 pants. Web displays is a Minecraft mod that allows you to see websites in Minecraft, meaning I'm able to see it through Minecraft. Oh, that's cool. Well, that is really cool. I didn't know that was a thing, but sweet. Okay. Oh, we did get a bunch of diamond. I'm actually curious how many we have now. Let's see. So we're at 120 diamonds. So we're getting there. Nothing too crazy, but starting to feel the wealth a little bit. Let me... Basically, I'm looking for a silk touch pick, ideally. Here. And I'm going to grab all my lapis, too. I'll just bring it down with me. Yeet! Alright, let's see what we got. We got an efficiency 4, which could be a silk touch pick. It's another fortune pick. Alright, well, we can keep that as a backup. Like, it feels weird to combine it to make efficiency 5 when we don't have mending yet. Where does this put us? It's another unbreaking 3. So, maybe when we get 3 more levels, we can hopefully get that. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this pickaxe in a chest for now. We'll just toss it down here. And let's go see how the mob spawner is doing. I don't know if it'll actually reach to here. I think because of how this mob spawner works, being in the house might not actually make things spawn. But I could be wrong. Yeah, no, there's nothing here. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to sit here and wait for mobs to spawn. Or we can do other things to get XP faster, like selling sticks and whatnot. So, where are we at for time? We're almost at the 3-hour mark. So let's chill here for a couple of minutes and we'll see how much XP we get. And then I might end the stream at the 3-hour mark. I don't know yet. I don't really have anything else going on today, honestly, other than just looking for jobs, but we'll see. I actually just honestly need to use the bathroom like crazy. Can't tell. I think it might be raining outside right now too, like IRL. So that would explain why Twitch, why the Twitch stream was not getting the greatest reception. And this is great too, because we'll actually get a bunch of the copper armor out of this. You typically get a bunch of gold, but we'll get a bunch of copper. Out of curiosity, how's your day been going so far? Pretty good. It's 9 in the morning for me, so I've been up since around 5:30-ish, but it's been pretty good. We got this mob spawner done. You know, got a bunch more cows. We did the mushroom blocks to make cool wallpaper in our base, so you know, it's going pretty okay. Eventually, what I would like to do is get you know, some kind of block down here so we can light up underneath. That might actually help with our mob frequency, but we'll see. But we usually only stream for like 10 days, and it's definitely been over 10 days. It's more at about 12 going on 13, so we're doing pretty good. We've had a lot of people show up today. We've had a lot of interesting conversations. Also, if you guys want, you can join the Discord. The link is in the top of the chat. It's the pinned comment. You know, there's lots of memes and whatever over there. You know, people just chatting and hanging out. No subs. Yeah, no, nothing, unfortunately. No subs on Twitch, and I don't think I've gotten any subs on YouTube. I haven't checked. I might have, but I have no way of checking that while I'm streaming. But that's okay. I'm not, like, butthurt over it or anything. Here, let's make some food. Kia plays Minecraft, just going off. That's okay. Ow. They have thorns on their armor. That's crazy. I didn't know they could get that. Here, did they drop any of it? No. Doesn't look like it. The important thing, though, is we're getting a lot of bones. I know I got a bunch of bone blocks in the last stream. But, you know, you always need more bone meal, but we can start underwater farms for, like, potatoes and carrots and all that fun stuff, so... But, see, that's the thing, like, right now, I don't know if it would just be faster for me to go running around killing mobs, or if I should just sit here. Like, right now, I'm starting to think that going to shore and just fighting mobs there would actually be faster. But, this is definitely the safer way to do it. The other thing, too, is we need to free all the glow squid for the aquarium. I don't know exactly how to force them up other than to fill in that cave, which I'm not opposed to, but it's just a lot of extra blocks we don't really have right now. So, we'll see. But, let's see if I can go feed the cows again, and then maybe kill a couple, and that'll get me back up to level 30. So here, let's, have a quick nap. And we're on day 53. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably enough. Can you put a lead on a squid? I don't think so. I don't think that's a thing. Maybe. There we go. It's level 30. I'd have to double check that, but I've never really tried, but I don't think you can, because I've never seen anybody else do it. I know you can put it on a dolphin, though, so maybe. Alright. Let's get some lapis. And I just want to check fire protection. I don't want fire protection. Liar, pants on fire. Let's do that. I feel like that's a little bit more important. Now we have prot and fire protection. We have it on our boots too, so. The only thing that can really kill me now is explosions. which, you know, I feel like would kill most people. But here, let me hop into here real quick. Like and sub to him, everybody. Thanks, I appreciate that. We're at 8 likes on the stream though, so that's pretty insane. But yeah, no, I really appreciate that. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 5,000 subs before I go back to work. We're almost at 4,900 right now, actually, so you know, if we get there, we get there. If we don't, we don't. It's not a big deal, but I do appreciate it if you guys would subscribe and all that fun stuff. Again, I really don't like self-promoting, but, you know, it's kind of part of the game. The game of YouTube, I should say. But the important thing right now is that we can actually get some better food. Thanks for reading. Here, do that. And let's get cooking. Here. Throw it in here. There we go. I can even hook up the puppos again. There we go. The 3 amigos. And yeah. I think next stream I want to do the iron farm. I wanted a silk touch pick so I could get the stone. You know? I wanted to do it out of stone bricks. That's just like how I typically do them. Let's see here. Organize that a little bit. Yeah, no, this is usually a little bit more efficient than this, so I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Let's take a peek. Take a peek, see what's happening. So, like, we are getting mobs, just not a lot of them. How are we at for where we built this? That's sort of why. Okay, I get it. We built it in the center of a chunk. Whereas if we put it on a chunk border, it would have definitely helped. Should go from cobble straight to bricks. I don't think that's true. I'd have to double check that. Just want to see if there's any other visible mobs below us. Not really. I don't really see any like deep caves or anything. So I think we just got kind of unlucky with where I decided to build this. I should have built it like on one of these corners. But it's not the end of the world. It's a little bit less efficient than it could be. But we're still getting a few mobs here and there. Here, F3G, hitbox is hidden. Just get rid of this before my computer blows up. There we go. Yeah, so Discord join, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, here, I'll try the stonecutter thing. I don't think that's true, but I'll be pleasantly surprised if that's the case. No, you can't. It's gotta be stone. Eventually, once we get the stuff to cure these villagers too, it'll be nice. Oh dang, I'm a liar. You're okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. You know what, guys? I think I'm probably gonna call it there for today. I think. I don't want to jump too far into another project quite yet. I'd rather do that for like its own stream. So I'll probably end up doing the iron golem, or not iron golem, iron farm next stream, which will be hopefully tomorrow. And I'll get silk touch and stone and kind of go from there. I'd really prefer not to have to cook cobblestone, but if it happens, it happens. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do it there. Make sure you check out the VOD if you missed most of the stream. This is actually kind of an interesting stream. I talked about a lot of stuff on this stream. But yeah, if you do want to catch the next one, make sure you subscribe and like and all that fun stuff. Again, I hate self-promotion, but it is what it is. And I've been working on a sign-off. My wife actually suggested this, just to be like goodbye gamers. So I think we're gonna go with that, unless we can figure out something a little bit better. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, like all that fun stuff. Check out the VODs, and I will see you in the next stream, which should be sometime tomorrow morning. I'm in EST time, so if you want to look that up and figure out the conversion, I'll probably start streaming by like 6 o'clock EST, but it could be earlier than that. It depends.